Thank you for tuning in today. Happy Monday, happy Motivating Monday, happy Momentum Monday, happy We Got Issues Monday. It is Katrina Harris Earl coming to you from bright and sunny California, headed to cold to Chicago. So I had to pull a coat out, but I'll be ready for it. And oh my gosh, today we have an amazing show. We got lots to talk about. Did y'all tune in? Did you tune in? Did you tune in to the Grammys? You know, we're going to talk about it. And we're really excited that you are tuning in. Today's show, we are going to be talking more kind of, we did a great show on branding, and now it's kind of branding part two, because we're talking about social media and coming off the Grammys, coming off the Oscars. It's still important. It is so critical when you look at the amount of the people in the world that are using social media for all things. It's an important thing. So whether you're a business owner, lean in. Whether you use it for yourself, if you're a parent, lean in, because your kids, we have an expert, Lisa, who is going to talk to us today about social media. So before that, I'm going to lean in with the girlfriends and have them talk to us about how they are doing today. You got Katrina Harris Earl, Lady Chrisette is on, Gloria Mayfield Banks is on, Sabrina Gilman Monday is on, and we want you to make sure you call in. You can dial in 313-778-7600. We want to hear from you. Make sure you share, like and share. And you can go always to theforceofriendship.com to figure out how to listen. I got a brand new car, and do you know I have iHeartRadio in there, and I found that 910 AM Superstation app and put it so right on my phone I can click on it, and bam, I'm listening to myself in the car, okay? Except for I'm live. So girlfriends, how are you? How are you? Chrisette, looking bright in yellow. How are you? Chartreuse, yellow.
I am doing very good, Gloria. Chartreuse. That is absolutely right. I am doing super fantastic on today. I mean, it's amazing, you guys. We are already in the first full week of April, and I didn't get a chance to. I almost went out and posted. If you could see how it was snowing today. I don't know, Sabrina, if you got snow there, but I mean, it was literally snowing. And I was like, okay, spring, come on. We're supposed to have rain, okay? April showers bring May flowers. That's what we've been told. So it stopped. It didn't stick because it is warm enough outside that the snow, I have no snow. I'm looking out Sabrina's window and it looks like there's still snow on the ground. I'm not sure if there is, but we have no snow. So that's a good sign. You guys, we want to, and I know you're going to talk about the Grammys in a minute, but we absolutely want to continue to keep Ukraine in our prayers. Just listening today, I know our president, he talked live today and just talked about the atrocities and how, the Russians are just killing people. I mean, the war crimes are just horrendous, and it's worse than what we knew. And just seeing it just makes you thankful and grateful that you do live in America with all of the challenges and the issues that we have here. You look there and these people, many of them are so helpless. And so just want to keep lifting them up in prayer and just hoping that there will be an end to this war sooner than later. So, that was kind of heavy on my mind today, but I did get a chance to watch the Grammys, and I'm gonna let the girlfriends talk about it. And I'm gonna tell you, it's so funny, many times when you're going, especially on a Sunday, we're doing so much, I have to lead into my text message thread, because when it starts lighting up, something is going on, something that you don't know about. And I look, and there they were talking about the Grammys. I said, girl, if you don't turn the television on and watch those Grammys, you're going to be left out of the conversation. So I was able to catch it. I'll chime in a little bit later. I'll throw it over back to you, Katrina, to throw it to one of the girlfriends.
Yes. Well, one of the things I want to say, because I know we got a lot to talk about in terms of the Grammys, but I wanted to let you know these stats, y'all. 8.8 million viewers watched Sunday's Grammys, according to Nielsen, the television's research firm. That's a very new low from the 53% drop compared to last year. When
53% drop?
53% drop. It was 18.7 million last year, 8.8 million this year. So it's a shift, wow. It's a shift. I'm telling you.
What do y'all think is happening there?
Well, my question I asked Sabrina the other day is I said, can you watch the Grammys for free? Can somebody tell me if you do not have cable and you're not paying a subscription service? Because there are a lot of people that only watch YouTube. I mean, there's more and more people that are cutting the cord with cable. So I'm wondering, and Sabrina said, oh, yeah, you could just go to ABC, but I don't know if you could just go to abc.com if you can't put in a Hulu subscription, like they ask you to put something in. So that could be one reason. And then uninterested, the bar was kind of low. You kind of thought that they might have tuned in just to make sure. Trevor Noah handled that thing in the beginning, didn't he?
Slapped him with the big stick right out the box. We ain't gonna say nobody's name out of our mouth.
Sabrina, unmute.
Walking on eggshells though at the beginning of the show. He was tiptoeing through the tulips. Like, I ain't trying to say nothing wrong about nobody. I ain't trying to say nothing that ain't supposed to be funny. So it was a very nice, orderly show. Nobody got hit below the belt. It was very entertaining. I am amazed that so few people tuned in, that viewership is so low. I don't know. We got to get to that. I'm not real sure why people are not tuning in.
You know what?
Carolyn, you said she watched it on regular TV.
Right. I wonder if because a lot of the acts are younger and older people are not interested in, I've heard a lot of people say, I don't even really know these people that are on anymore. So I don't even watch it because I don't relate to the new. And then with the younger crowd, I don't know if they are into watching TV like that. So it's just interesting. The older people, they're like, I'm not interested. I don't really know those people. So something is going on there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and guess what? Those executives, those TV executives are getting in there. They're in there in the boardrooms figuring out what is going on and following the money trail to figure out how they can get these people back. But you can notice with the comments. Go ahead, Chris. Read some of them.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, somebody just said that the Grammys are aired on CBS, but somebody said, I don't watch the Grammys. Tracy Foster, I don't watch the Grammys anymore. Music sucks these days. And so that's Tracy's opinion. She don't watch them anymore. And evidently a whole lot of people, you said it went from what to what, Katrina?
18.7 to 8.8. And of course, during COVID, we know people were locked in, but probably even pre-COVID, it used to be way more than 8.8. That's like nothing.
Right.
But yeah, that's not a lot. But we know somebody who did watch, and that would be Sabrina, because her boy, it was a clean sweep. Talk about it, Sabrina. How was it? Tell them who your boy is.
Bruno. Well, what is it, Silky Sonic? I just know Bruno, but his sidekick, I mean, clean sweep. Y'all know that's my song. Leave the doggone door open, okay? Leave the door open. I mean, they won so many awards. I think it was 4 awards. And so I just love them as a team. They have so much admiration, respect for one another. It's good, clean music. They don't make music like that anymore. It's old school. So I was loving all of that. That. Yes. You guys, we got to give our girlfriend, Carolyn Muse, a shout out. She is on today. Lost her mother this morning. Her mother's been in hospice. But Carolyn, hugs, my friend. Hugs, kisses. So much respect.
Absolutely.
So much respect.
Right.
You are just a champion in all ways. Thank you for supporting us, and do know that we're here to support you during this difficult time. For sure. Gloria Mayfield Banks, how are you?
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know what the rest of the world was doing, and I wasn't thinking about the rest of the world, but I knew I had one big TV on in the kitchen watching the Grammys and another big TV on in the living room watching women's basketball, the NCAA tournaments. And I know for sure half of y'all wasn't watching it, but I know for sure I was, and Sabrina was sort of. She was texting me back and forth. But when I tell you that game was fire, the Grammys were fire, and I get it, Chris. I really do. There's some artists, I don't know who they are. I don't know where they came from. That woman, she's 19 years old and walked away with 4 or 5 Grammys. I mean, to me, I just get inspired by the fact that she could handle an audience like that at 19 years old, that someone would introduce her as my favorite boss ever at 19 years old. I mean, it was amazing. The other thing that I love is the creativity. I mean, John Baptiste, he brought the house down when he jumped up on that table and they just talked about freedom. I thought John Legend, honestly, my favorite part was when the president of the Ukraine came out. And then John Legend wrote a song that was phenomenal. And then they brought the artists from the Ukraine out there. I thought the Grammys did an absolute beautiful job lifting up the Ukraine situation. And then I would run into the living room and watch the women's basketball. It was crazy. It was so close. It was so energetic. And then the coach from UConn, he's going up there with 11-0 against the women's coach, Black woman, Dawn. What's her last name, Sabrina? She's amazing.
Staley,
yes.
I think.
And she had only won one, had been there twice, won one. This is her second one. But when she said it was a divine destiny that they would take women's basketball. Without a doubt, forget it. This was ours. Had no doubt. It was. And I just love to see that energy. I love to see that right now passionate goal. And they were going at it. It was, I mean, you guys, the superstar is 6'5", left the Virgin Isles at 12 years old because her coach told her, if you really want to be a superstar, you have to get off this island. So at 12 years old, her parents let her move to Massachusetts from the islands now. Sent her to Massachusetts with her sister and got her off that island. And now she was the Division Player of the Year, the Player of the Year, All-American, and now she's a national champion. I was like, the stories. So that's what's going on, Gloria Mayfield Banks. Yeah.
Okay, and that can also be the game. Let's get ready for the game tonight, okay? The men's basketball, okay? The national championship men's basketball. If you don't have a team, cheer for the Tar Heels, UNC Tar Heels, okay? I know it's.
And if you do have a team, cheer for them anyway, because they got to win tonight for real.
Oh my goodness, you guys. But did you see Duke and UNC? Now, that was the game of the century. They said that college game was game of the century for college basketball. That really was the national championship. So, you guys, the game tonight, get ready to cheer for Tar Heels. Go UNC. What is that? United National Champions. That's what UNC stands for, okay? United National Champions.
That's cute. That's cute. That's cute. I forgot that game was played on Saturday. We haven't been talking since then, so it's a lot going down. That was just Saturday,
and
Sunday.
Just like if you don't get to watch, the Grammys or the game, you could just go to Sabrina and Gloria's social media, and you will know who won. Okay, to be a fly on the wall at the Monday House. Okay, to be a fly on the wall in the Monday House in the Banks House during sports. OMG. Okay, it is a blessing, y'all. Today's show is amazing, and right before we go to break, I'm gonna just pop my guest in. Lisa, come on in. I'm gonna read your accolades when we come back from the break because there's very little time. But I told first of all, let me just put it out there. I got in trouble from Lady Crissette because I know Lisa from her, and she's like, "Why is she your guest?" Okay, so anyway, just to make her feel better, we'll switch her back like that, like she the host. Okay, but Lisa is super bad, young college student. She's going to tell us how she started this amazing entrepreneurial business, and she is works behind the scenes with myself, making us look good on social media, with Lady Crissette making us look good on social media, and she is an expert. We're going to talk about it all when we come right back. See you in a minute.
What you do? Where you at? Where you at?
You got plans.
You got plans?
Yeah. We got plans. We got plans. I don't know who on the planet. I don't know who on the planet doesn't like that song. It's just old school, new school groove. However, I will tell you right before I introduce our guest, Sabrina, you are not going to believe this, but there is somebody who didn't like Bruno. Can you believe that? Who said
Really?
the best and the worst of the Grammys, and at the top, the door is always a little too open for Bruno Mars. I was like, OMG. That's what they said. We don't like him, okay? I didn't even send you that article, but he is always jamming in my book.
He's a hater. Whoever said that, they just hating. They need to stop hating, okay?
I know. Doja Cat should have been, she was on the good list, and I don't know, all that clothes she barely had on. OMG. But we are excited to have with us today, Lisa, and you can lean in and talk all about it from your perspective. Lisa, pronounce your last name so I say it properly, because I always mess it up.
Yeah, it's Econom.
Lisa Econom. I want you to brag about yourself, but Lisa, you guys, attends Oakland University studying management information systems with an information security specialization. So she is smart. She has a leadership organization at the university, vice president of the business transfer students, and former director of marketing for the Students and Activities Funding Board at Oakland University. She is minister of music at Victorious Christian Life Church International. And she is also my Facebook friend, my Instagram friend, my YouTube friend, my TikTok friend, and my girlfriend. Welcome, Lisa, to We Got Issues.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us, brag all about yourself, and please tell us how you know Lady Chrisette. So you give us a
Please.
I'll start with that. I can definitely start with how I know Lady Chrisette. My family actually I grew up going to Greater Grace Temple. So I was under her and Bishop's leadership for ever since I could remember. That was all I knew was Greater Grace Temple until I was about like 13 years old. And my dad we decided to branch off, and they started their own church. So then at that point, everybody kept in touch. The family is still there. I believe Bishop actually ordained my dad to be pastor. So
wow,
it was awesome. But yeah. So there's a really close-knit relationship there for sure. So yeah, that's how I know Lady Chrisette. But a little bit about me. I do a lot of things on a regular basis. You guys know more than anybody, like how much is going on at every second of every day. Right now, my biggest thing is trying to graduate. I'm almost there. This is my senior year, so I'm finishing up and I'll be done this month. So that's exciting. And then after that, I'm actually in an expedited master's program. So I'm actually going to be currently my classes are double counting, but I'm actually going to continue next year and get my master's around this same time next year. So that's where my focal point is. And then aside from that, I have my business Talfa that you guys both know about, where I do a lot of branding, website development, creation, social media strategizing, and all of that fun stuff. So yeah.
That is awesome. Well, Chrisette, would you just talk about Lisa and how everything you want to share? So much more. You are so much more than social media. So we want to just let Lady Chrisette brag on you.
Well, Lisa is amazing. She really is. I mean, again, she grew up at our church. She and her wonderful sister, Angela, on our praise team, dancers. I mean, just amazing dancers. And, her mom is wonderful. Her dad is wonderful. And I mean, they are just young ladies who you absolutely knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that whatever they decided to do in life, they were going to be successful. They come from an amazing family. Lisa's father is definitely, he's the one. I don't know, was he an Android user or Apple user? Because I remember having a conversation. Which one is he, Lisa?
He's an Android user.
He's an Android. So I remember, oh my goodness, we had a debate. Should I do an Apple or Android? And he tried his best to get me to come over to the Android world. I think he might be the only one in your family that's Android, I think, or your mom one too.
My mom is still Android. They're in a battle.
Android.
So
the girls stepped
away
from they stepped away, and now they are Apple. But yeah, Lisa is amazing. She just had a birthday party not too long ago. You guys, I was like, you are young. 21 years old. Had an amazing birthday party. And she's like, we want you guys to come. I was like, okay, we're going to be the youngest, oldest people up in there. But Chuck and I, we went to her birthday party. And I said, you know what? I called Lisa. I saw her somewhere and said, Lisa, I know you know about social media. I don't know any young people that don't know about social media. And then come to find out, she had an amazing company and we hooked up. And as a matter of fact, you guys check out Chuck's social media. It is smoking because Lisa's doing that. And Kira's like, somebody's like, all right, Kira.
I noticed.
Out there.
Lisa, I noticed. I did not know it was you behind the brains, but I sure noticed it. Thank you for saying that, Chrisette, because when I tell you I noticed.
Yep. Absolutely. So she's just amazing. She is.
Lisa, talk about a young woman in college balancing full-time college and a business, because we're going to talk about social media, but you have turned this into an amazing company. So talk to us about being a young entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. It's not an easy task. I know there's so many things to focus on at this point, especially just being at 21. There's so many different things, trying to get through the degree, trying to still balance a full-time job in my career field, and then still trying to balance the company has definitely been, it's been very difficult. Like my family and friends are definitely like, oh, we don't see you. Like we see you like one time and we don't see you any other time. So it's definitely been a challenge, but the biggest thing with me is that I don't believe that God would give me any more than I could bear. So I know that every time he brings something new into my presence, and I know that it's from him and it's for me, I try to charge through it and I just go with his direction. I allow him to order my steps. And honestly, that's how I'm able to do it. There's really no secret key. It's God, because I'm not really able to do anything without him, as far as having the amount of hours in the day to even get through everything, to do all the designing, to have all the calls, to do all the homework, the assignments. It's a lot, but I just lean in on God for that peace and guidance and understanding. So that's really where my focal is, for sure.
I love that. And you get that from your social media. You can tell that is a part of your brand. Harry, if you can call back in, Harry, we will get right to you and get you on the air. Thanks so much. Anybody who has any questions, give us a call at 313-778-7600. Well, we already know these stats, but it really is astounding when you think about it in terms of not the city, like you say, Gloria, or the state or the block or even the country, but the entire world, y'all. More than half of the world's population uses social media around the world. For almost 5 billion people, 5 billion internet users, 62% of the world's population. And when you take that and you think about those that are in third world countries that don't even have access, so you think of people that even would have access, it's like the majority, more than 2/3 of the world's population has access to a mobile device. TikTok, even though it's number 7 on the list, passed the 1 billion monthly active user mark in September of 2021. So even though it's number 7, it has passed, it's growing faster than the others. And so we're going to learn all about it. Listen to this. You want to know where your time goes? The average daily user spends 2 hours and 27 minutes. So if you have a product, a brand, if you want to communicate with them and you are not hitting it on social media, like Bishop Ellis, you're missing the people. Number 1 is Facebook. 2 is YouTube. 3 is WhatsApp. 4 is Instagram. 5 is Messenger.
Wait.
TikTok. Can you believe that?
You said, yeah, do it again.
1 is Facebook. 2 is YouTube. 3 is WhatsApp. Interesting. Facebook owns it. 4 is Instagram. Facebook owns it. That's a lot of power, y'all, in one company. Number 5 is Facebook Messenger. Facebook owns it. Number 6 is WeChat.
Never
Number
heard of
7
that.
is TikTok. Number 7
What
is
is
TikTok. And then it
WeChat?
goes down. WeChat, I think that's mostly somebody in the clarify.
Yeah, I
but
know what it
think
is.
that's mostly
What is it, Gloria?
It's WhatsApp for China.
That's okay. Yeah,
Okay.
It's just like WhatsApp. It's in China.
absolutely.
That's how big it is. One country.
Yeah. And they
Wow.
yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk a little bit about each of the platforms, but Lisa was going to start out by telling us some do's and don'ts. So we got a couple minutes before we go to break. So let's talk about just get deep. Talk about some of the don'ts. Okay, what do people do wrong on social media? I know we ain't supposed to start with the negative, but let's just keep it.
It's ain't negative. This is brilliant. This is brilliant.
Definitely.
What not to do?
So what not to do? My biggest do not do this is do not spam accounts. Please don't spam accounts. I know sometimes people, like if they want to get attention and they feel like the best thing to do is to hop into everybody's DMs or to drop under everybody's stuff, to join everybody's Facebook groups or whatever, that is extremely annoying. It doesn't do anything but just increase like annoyance. It doesn't make them want to follow you more. It makes you come off more so like you're greedy or like you have an ulterior motive. And just think about like anytime you see somebody just like spamming you, like if you make a post and then you immediately see a comment come up that is just do this for the business, DM this person, all that's just aggravating. And I know that we all understand that that is a don't, because it takes away our credibility. It doesn't make you seem as though you're as legit as you actually are. That's my biggest don't.
Okay, we're going to hear some more don'ts. Be ready. We're going to get right into it when we come back. Thank you. We will post information about Lisa's business. Jennifer is asking. So we will be right back. Thanks for tuning in to We Got Issues. Give us a call and ask Lisa your social media questions. Are we coming? Are we coming? Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, a little bit of John Baptiste. He gives me energy. New on the scene
Right.
for me. I know not for everybody, but I just love the energy he brings to the stage
Right.
performance. I love the way he talked and how he affirmed others. This is what we do. And that's one good thing to do on social media is don't just be sticking out there all about you. Take time to affirm and lift others up, Gloria. You are the best at that. I don't know how you have the time to do it, but you always are up in there affirming. So let's take it back and keep it REAL. REAL with Lisa, who is sharing with us all about social media. And Lisa, tell us, you were talking more about the don'ts. Talk about the don'ts. What is not to do on your social media?
Yeah, so besides spamming accounts, the other thing that I would say you don't want to do is excessively use hashtags. And I know that sounds funny because a lot of times when people see a hashtag, they're like, I got to put a hashtag that means everything I'm talking about. But actually, it doesn't make it any better or worse. It's just, you just shouldn't really do it at all. Because the point of a hashtag really is just to connect you to the tunnel of content that you want to be in. So, for example, if your post is motivational and you want to say hashtag motivation, that's the point of that hashtag is just to place you there. It's not going to necessarily like building up and having multiple different hashtags to say motivational, the most motivational, like having all those hashtags just bogs the post down and it's just too much. So having too many hashtags is actually not the best thing. And I know that that's
How many do you suggest?
I usually suggest about 5 or 6 hashtags that get straight to the point of what you're talking about, like a line or so, and then that's it. Those paragraphs of hashtags, no, that's a little bit weighing. Another I would definitely say don't fixate on the number of followers you have and the amount of followers you have, but I would say to fixate on the quality of followers you have, just because you can have a bunch of followers, but when you make a post and let's say you have 10,000 followers and you make a post and you're averaging at about 10 likes, that's because a good portion of your followers are not actually active, authentic followers. So you want to make sure that your content is actually reaching the audience that you want it to reach. And that way you can actually gain an authentic audience. And you do that by engaging with your followers, talking to your followers, getting on live more, just appearing as though you care, because you do care about your followers. You do care about, the brand that you're trying to build or the business that you're trying to build. So those are two of my biggest don'ts, is the hashtags and just caring about quality over quantity, because sometimes we get kind of carried away wanting thousands of followers, but if 3,000 of those followers are robots or don't really care about your brand, I mean, it's not really helping you in the long run, for sure.
That is so good. That's so good. Before I pass it to the girlfriends, you were going to talk about how you get, since you're talking about followers, you were going to talk about how you generate real, authentic followers, because we do want to grow our brand and get it out to more people. So there's a rhyme and a reason to helping, and you've made a difference in that. And Dorothy is going to go ahead and post your website for those of you that want to reach out to Lisa, your website and her Instagram, because everybody's going to go and like her Instagram. So we'll get that up there now.
Yeah, so I think the best way to generate followers and grow your followers is, like I said before, just engaging with them. You want to engage with your followers as much as possible, whether that's you popping on live, and that's on Instagram, Facebook, all of those, popping on live, whether that's you making story posts, showing that you're actually behind this page that you're trying to portray. That's the real goal. You can post as many pictures as you want to. They can be of advertising posts. They could be lifestyle posts, whatever you want to post. But at the end of the day, if I never heard that person speak, if I never got to really see them be human, move, do things, that's where your followers come in, because they want to be able to relate to you. They want to be able to connect with you. So that's the best way to do it. All those apps that you can buy followers and all of that. That's out. That's not in anymore. I think that like years ago, that was a thing where people were actually like buying their likes, buying their followers. And at the time, we were fixated on the number. But now we're like, we want to grow people that actually want to support my business. I want to grow people that actually want to support my brand, my vision. If I'm trying to portray myself this way because this is who I am, I want followers that actually like believe in that same thing or have that same value or hold that same value. So definitely the best way to grow, be human, be as authentic as you can be to grow that quality follower count for sure.
Mhm. That is so good. I know a lot of people talk about, let's just talk about each one a little bit as we hit on it. A lot of people talk about Facebook and say Facebook is, going down. It's mostly for older people. But when I looked at these stats, I was like, no, Facebook, only 2.9% of 13 to 17-year-olds are on Facebook. But when you look at the numbers, they're mostly between 18 and 44. When you get older above the 40s, the numbers are not even as high. So it still
They're
is
not
the
what?
number one. But there are folks over 40 on Facebook, but I was surprised to find still 25% of Facebook users are 25 to 34, and 18% are 35 to 44. So it still is the king of social media, even though Instagram comes in as the most likable one. That's if people vote on which one they like the best, they say that. So what can you say about Facebook? And then we'll talk about Instagram.
Um, Facebook is for everyone. Like that's the way that I describe Facebook is just being for everyone. Not saying that the other applications aren't, but I definitely see people from ages 70 to 17 on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook. It has some type of account. I also know that back when I was like 15, 14, 15, and there were guidelines about the age that you have to be on Facebook. You say that that's your age on there, but they're actually a lot younger. So I wouldn't be surprised if the people that like those ages that you see the statistics according to those dates aren't actually people a little bit younger. So Facebook is definitely something that most people get on, and the best way to engage on Facebook and to grow with Facebook, they're big with lives. As you can see, we're on a live right now on Facebook. So live is a big thing with Facebook users. That's how you talk to them the most. Facebook, I see, is being used a lot for friends and family. Of course, you do have your fan bases. You have, your businesses that you promote on Facebook. But when people see Facebook, they don't see it as so much of a promotional thing, but it's a character application. It's about talking to your friends and family, sharing where you've been, sharing your life updates. That's Facebook. So, yeah.
When you said that's the first time I really thought that thought. Girlfriends, tell me if you agree. I talk to the people I know the most, like people that I know in real life. I talk to them on Facebook, and I talk to people that I don't know and make newer friends on TikTok and Instagram. But when you said that, that's the first time I ever thought about that. My college friends, that's how I keep up with what's going on. Even my cousins, I keep up with them on Facebook as opposed to Instagram. So, Gloria, what's your favorite? What's your favorite social media?
I was like this. My favorite is Instagram because it's less complicated to me. But my following is stronger on Facebook. It just is. I have a stronger following on Facebook. They are more engaging on Facebook. But I have a very engaging following on Instagram as well. But for someone like me who likes to look instead of read, I like to look. When I get on Facebook, I end up reading a lot more. The comments are much longer. The descriptions are much longer. The information that you get about people is much longer. Everything is longer. There are more pictures. It's longer. So, but I'm trying. I've been saying this like for a year. I'm trying to get back to put Facebook at the top of the charts because it's top in so many ways. Facebook is, but for someone who doesn't love to read and loves to look, I like Instagram.
Now we do a show every day, and we're on Facebook in addition to YouTube. And I read this, Lisa. Tell me what your thoughts are about this. because this kind of blew my mind. Because it talked about on Instagram, it's like 3 to 5 minutes, the time that you want. But then it said Facebook live videos that last over an hour increase your engagement from 19% to 86%.
What?
I'm like, really? That blew my mind. And we are on for an hour. So does that make sense, Lisa?
I mean, that's yes, but it's a very interesting statistic as well. I mean, I think part of the reason why that might be, if it's because the longer that you're on that live, it increases your engagement. There's like certain slots of time that people are on these applications where it's a hot spot. If you just go on for 5 minutes, the amount of people that might join that is much lower than if you were sitting on that live for a 2-hour span. How many people would cycle through, even if they tap on and tap off? How many people are going to see that? So I think it makes a little bit of sense, I guess, if it's a lot of like extremely long. And
Lisa,
the
longer it is,
so it's not the same person. It's not that they're watching the whole hour. It's just that you're going to catch more people because they're popping in and popping out.
Some of them are on there for a long time, though.
Right, and it depends on what you're doing.
Stay on there, like for
they
a long
do.
Time. I know plenty of them that just like
our guests. We appreciate you. We appreciate every one of you that hang out with us. Fran Sanders said, but 2 hours is too long. Okay, so we will keep it to an hour. We'll be right back. We're going to talk more about social media with Lisa, and we'll post her website again, and we'll say her website out loud for our radio viewers, listeners, as soon as we get back. Thanks so much. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are learning all about social media today, and I love Lisa introduced me to 2 words I've heard, but I'm going to act like I know what both of them mean. We're going to talk about typography and color science. Okay, so those of you that want to learn more about Lisa and how she can step up your social media game, you can go to her website at TALPHAH, and you want to be sure to follow her on social media as well. And Lisa, I'll have you give your social media and talk to us about what is typography and what are the do's and don'ts as it has to do with that.
Yeah, so my social media is my first and last name at Lisa, Lisa, Econom, Ekanem. And then a little bit about typography. So that's pretty much the study of fonts and the impact that that could have on a brand or the impact that that could have on an image. So a good way to explain it, there's different things. It really just depends on what you're going for. What are you trying to say? Do you want to come off as bold? Do you want to come off as clean? Do you want to come off as petite? Do you want to come off as in your face fire? So there's a few different types that I can touch on a little bit. One of them is serif type fonts. So those fonts are more traditional. They bring on more so respect. So a serif font will be like Times New Roman or Georgia font. I don't know if we're familiar with Georgia, but we know Times New Roman. Those just safe, traditional, very traditional type of fonts. And that's the vibe that they give off. It really depends on what it is. I know one that most people want to do if they want to be bolder, they'll do a display font. So a display font is going to be big, bold, quirky. It's going to really grab your attention. Whatever is in that bold font is what I'm going to pay attention to, and it's what's going to lead me down the rest of this post because of what that said. And then paired with bold fonts is where the serif fonts come in. Fonts that are cleaner, smaller, sleeker. That's pretty much like the type of pairing you want to do. You don't want to have multiple display fonts in one image. That's too much. I'm too confused. I don't know what I'm paying attention to. If I see a big font that looks like a marker writing, and then I see a font that looks like, I believe it's called the League font, and it's just like straight, bold, big, gets your attention. You don't want too much of that. So you just want to be careful to make sure you're pairing the right types of fonts together to make sure that your overall thought and the concept that you want us to see, we can see. So if it's a bolder font, that bolder font is what you want me to know about you to then continue down that post or continue down that page. And that sleeker font is what I'm gonna get. It's the juice. It's the center of what the post is about after that, like the meat of the post, if that makes any sense. So it's a little bit about that. Yeah.
I mean, and it makes sense. We know what we like, right? When you see it, you know what draws your attention, but to hear it talked about in that way. Sabrina, I was scrolling yesterday and I was like, bam, your new social media. I told her when I just look at your Instagram, it just makes me happy. I know my girlfriend, it looks like you, it expresses you. So how have you stepped up? What have you learned and what are you doing that's working for you on social media?
Yeah, this makes my head go, phew. It's a lot. It is so much. Okay.
And you're the best at it. You own everything.
You need a whole nother life for this whole thing. But bottom line is you either get it or you get left. And I don't want to get left. I got to get with it. And so I've surrounded myself with people who understand it, embracing it. And I think image is everything. It's like social media now is your image. It's like they say when you meet somebody, you got 7 seconds to make an impression. Well, that's just like your social media. If it's junky and not real active, people are like, nah, that's a shame though that people judge you by your social media. That is not fair. Listen, Lisa, that's not right, okay? We need to speak to the good Lord about that, okay?
Oh my God.
So, Lisa, give us 3 fast tips of getting your social media in order when you know that's not. So, for many people, they say, "Oh, that's not important to me. I don't have time for that." Well, if you're in business, if you're building a brand, that's not the right answer. So, give us 3 tips, Lisa, on how to get with it quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Referring to social media, like how to grow followers and engagement.
Not only grow, how about get on social media for one?
Right.
Forget about growing. How about get a presence? Okay, let's start there.
Honestly,
a lot of people just watch. A lot of people just watch and scroll. They ain't trying to do it themselves.
Step out of your comfort zone. That's the biggest thing. Step out of your comfort zone. I know that a lot of times you would think that you're behind a screen, you can't actually see me. So I mean, I should be a little bit more bolder because you can't actually see me. But there's a lot of people that don't want to, take that first step to actually get out there. And the thing with social media is going back to like actually being authentic on social media. You have to be vulnerable to be authentic. You have to actually allow people to know you. I want to know the person behind that account, and that's scary for people to actually like step out of their comfort zone and talk about some of the things that they went through so that I can overcome that issue I was having. There's some people. I have a friend, I just saw a post that she made, I think it was like yesterday, and it was just talking about how I posted this, I think it was something from last year because it was on Snapchat, but pretty much what she was saying was somebody said that they needed to see what she posted. So she just kept posting those types of videos because it was like somebody was, every time she would post a video of her being vulnerable and actually talking about what she was dealing with or talking about how she overcame an issue, there was always at least one person that was like, dang, I really needed to hear that today. So just stepping outside of your comfort zone and trying something new that might be uncomfortable, that's how you grow. So you got to step outside of your comfort zone. That's my biggest thing. If you don't take anything from this, do something different.
And it does take courage. It does take courage. It takes bravery. It takes courage. It takes ambition. I mean, for the longest, I was like, I don't want to sound braggadocious, and nobody cares about your life, and everybody's going to be talking about you, and all the yeah. And then I decided to own my power and say, you know what? I want to either, you better get with it or get left. You have two choices. Yes.
I mean, the girlfriends know I lost my doggy. We had to put our oldest doggy to sleep, and going on social media is it's like a part of it. And I can't believe I literally hit the button and the love was already coming. The love was already coming. And so it's important, and you need to tap into all of them. 83% of world leaders are on Twitter. So if you want to talk to a world leader and know what's going on, you go to Twitter. If you want a job, you better know how to be on LinkedIn. You better be on LinkedIn. And so Lisa, I want you to talk about that. And if you want to learn how to do anything, we are doing some things around our house, and some of the stuff I was like, you know what? We're going to just take on one of those projects. My girlfriend was like, girl, she showed me how she did it. And she's like, it was just a YouTube video. I was like, really? Well, maybe, but you better get on YouTube because you can learn anything on YouTube. So talk to us about LinkedIn. 200 million job applications a month.
Wow.
And you got to have a LinkedIn account.
Listen, LinkedIn is my best friend. I'm on LinkedIn more than I'm on almost every other social media at this point. And I'm being so honest, part of it has to do with the fact that I am a college student ready to graduate and ready to venture into new areas. So that's a big part of it. And especially in anybody that has gone to college knows they push networking, they push getting yourself out there on LinkedIn. So I scroll on there so much because I get so much motivation. I get a drive just from seeing companies doing things, crossing off certain lists, billionaires, CEOs. Like that's where I get a lot of that passion and drive to keep going, because I know that one day I could achieve this or that. And if I have God,
all is possible. I cannot believe I had so many other questions for you. We need a show after the show. And so y'all be sure to follow Lisa on Instagram, and be sure to visit her website. TALPHAH.com is the way that you can talk to Lisa and the CEO of her company about her assisting you with social media. Thanks so much. We will be back tomorrow. We have a great show tomorrow. Be sure to tune in.